All right, welcome back to the Nueva Vida Group podcast. We are a privately owned real estate advisory company that supports the high net worth and ultra high net worth community on real estate acquisitions, project management, and development. This week's a little bit different. We're going to be looking at high profile European luxury ski resorts, as well as some further afield and why they are so popular. We're going to do a Q&A with George Gray, who's Managing Director of Albany Global, who, as you can tell, is currently in Courchevel, looking after a number of amazing rentals, and obviously has got the best backdrop here. So, how are you, George?
Yeah, no, all good, thank you, and great to be back on. I've been obviously listening with eagerness the last few weeks since I was last on, and been really enjoying the podcast.
That's some view behind you there, mate.
Yeah, no, we've got a great day here actually. Blue skies and great snow. There's obviously the storm in Europe last week brought plenty of snow. I think it was about 3 or 4 feet of snow on Saturday last week. So the snow's brilliant, and today we've got a blue sky day, which is fantastic.
They're saying, aren't they, that it's the best snow they've had in years.
Yeah, I mean, I can vouch for that. I was actually here on Sunday as well. And yeah, Sunday was beautiful, and fresh powder everywhere, all over the cars. I actually got the car stuck in a bit of a snowdrift, so I had to dig myself out on Sunday morning.
So, James, you're going to run through some really sort of key market stats that we.
Yeah, so I've just pulled up some stats from the various wealth reports and ski reports from the major players. So I'll just reel off these four here. So the first one is saying that 73% of high net worth survey said that they consider living full time in the Alps. So remote working lifestyle is now a bit more of a reprioritization. The market isn't just holiday homes anymore. It's becoming a bit more of a primary, secondary home hybrid, which I thought was interesting. Prime Alpine homes are up 23% over the last 5 years, which is 3.3% year on year. The Savills Ultra Prime ski reports said that the Courchevel 1850 is now in the top 10 at €42,000, 600 per square meter. So top tier. And probably the most compelling one is that Courchevel 1850 has one of the highest concentrations of Michelin-style restaurants in the world. So you can literally ski in the morning at lunch and dress up and go to a world-class dining in the event without leaving the resort, basically. So what isn't there to like?
I think it's amazing, isn't it? As a business, like Nueva Vida on the sourcing, acquisition side, and project management, but very much on the acquisition side, clients have always sort of come to us and discussed, portfolios and plans for portfolios. But now I think, a ski chalet, whether they're sort of having a holiday rental villa, we do with George, obviously, and they're renting that ski chalet for 2-3 weeks, great winter holiday. But actually the idea of now buying there, it's sort of like very much a fixed part of their plans, fixed part of their portfolio. George, you had a great term we were discussing off camera earlier, where they're sort of from Christmas in St. Bart's, travelling down for their winter season.
Yeah, the annual rhythm.
Yeah. So, and I really believe in it. And those stats and everything that's happening there completely prove it. Some of the homes some of the homes we all have seen and have access to are extremely special.
I think it echoes a lot of other sort of key destinations in Europe, but certainly the last few years, the sort of growth and the development going on here in Courchevel 1850, but also in other ski resorts around Europe, Verbier, Meribel, Val d'Isère. I think Alpine living and Alpine lifestyle is becoming a lot more commonplace than just the ski holiday was perhaps years and years ago. And certainly here in the context of Courchevel, the luxury brands and the luxury lifestyle brands, hotel groups which are opening up here and developing here, is a testament to that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It'd be great to hear some more sort of background, some of the chalets that you've got access to. It'd just be good to know what they're like. Talk us through them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as we do everywhere, we've got a fantastic range of rental property here, and ranging from apartments, residences, and penthouses. I'm actually sat in one of our brand new 3-bedroom residences at the moment. The building only opened last month; so it's been open 4 weeks, but we've had a number of clients here already, and they've been hugely speaking very, very highly of it, and its access to town and direct ski and ski out access. And I mean, what I'd say is that people come to Courchevel 1850 for the lifestyle, but ultimately as well, it's about privacy and discretion. And that goes as well when we're talking about rental residences. And, whilst we have, a huge number of chalets and residences that we can advertise publicly on our website, there are also a good number that are off market. And that's, because the owners prefer discretion, and also because the owners prefer discretion for their clients. The clients who rent them want to be kind of like off grid. They don't want people to know where they're staying or what they've paid for where they're staying, that kind of thing. And, I really have here specifically, I've got one chalet, which is exceptional to be quite frank. And I rented it to a client last January for a long birthday weekend, and they had a brilliant time. And for me, it's one of the most unique residences anywhere in the world. Each bedroom is actually themed after the tallest peak in each continent. So, one bedroom is themed after Ben Nevis, one bedroom is themed after Kilimanjaro, one bedroom themed after Everest, and it's really, really bespoke touch and high touch detail for clients and obviously for the owner.
Sounds amazing. I think that point about discretion, it runs through a lot of the podcasts that we've done, conversations we have sort of outside of this. People are really looking for that discretion, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think we live in a world these days where everything is so accessible at our fingertips. Online, social media, the internet, and I think we are starting a shift back towards off grid, and that obviously goes hand in hand with real estate, with property, and people want access to off market homes. People want to stay in places that other people aren't there, and they want their privacy. They value their privacy, and as I say, in today's day and age, that is almost so hard to grab back, that when you can offer that to a client, it's an extremely attractive proposition. And I mean, I'd sorry, James, I'd go further to say, and we've actually got some clients here this week who are, who would be reasonably well known on a global stage, and they choose to come here because of the privacy that they get themselves and for their family. And, they're not hounded for photographs, so they're not stopped in the street or anything like that. They can go about their normal business and kind of feel like normal people, if you like, that they couldn't do at home or they couldn't do in other holiday destinations.
That's so important.
So, George, I just wanted to touch on the point about, you deal with some very serious high net worth clients. What do you and your team provide them when they're booking? What are the things that they can expect?
Well, as ever, we like to be very high touch with our clients and really cater to their needs. And some purely just want to rent a home, whereas others, need and want a much more personalized service in terms of, their transport to and from the airport. They might even want their transport arranging, by helicopter. We organised a helicopter at the weekend for a client flying in from Geneva here. Obviously a lot of the chalets that we do have here have their own team of staff in them with, which includes private chef, butlers, housekeepers, private drivers. And, that's sort of become a very, very unified standard here in Courchevel, and obviously in a lot of the top ski resorts around Europe and the world. And, but additionally, if clients need any extra services, we can always arrange that. And critically, things like restaurant bookings, they're, especially in Courchevel, it's very similar to Saint-Tropez in the summer. It's very hard to get into the most desired restaurants at the right time. You want to be there before the sun goes down, kind of thing, and when the party's starting. So we've got very good relationships with a lot of these restaurants and some of the hotels, and can always get our clients, the most preferred tables and preferred seating times, et cetera, which is, something we're frequently asked to do.
That's an amazing perk, isn't it? I think it's so important. I think, so what's, in your opinion, the best luxury sort of Alpine destination?
I mean, it's going to sound silly because obviously I'm sat here, but, and equally, I don't want to profess to being, global knowledge on every single ski resort in the world. But for me in the Alps, it would certainly be Courchevel 1850. And I think, a quick browse, of what's here, which restaurants are here, which boutiques, you have all of the usual Louis Vuitton, Loro Piana, Brunello Cucinelli, Hermes, Rolex boutique here. As well as, some, as James mentioned, the highest concentration Michelin star restaurants in the world. Some of the hotel brands, Rosewood have just opened here. You have Les Herelles, Cheval Blanc, Six Senses, K2 Palace. You know, some of these brands are known around the world, and I think when you throw that in with the Three Valleys, which is of course the biggest skiing area in the world, you know, it's a magical combination, really. And you know, if you're a pure ski lover, you can come here and have fun. If you just want to taste the luxury lifestyle and luxury living, then it's great for you as well. But you know, I'd certainly say that for both skiing and the lifestyle and the culinary side, you know, Courchevel 1850 can't be topped.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
I think that resonated with me very well because I'm not much of a skier, and I think, you know, the offering for people that, you know, it's not just a destination for high quality skiing, it's the lifestyle they can achieve there as well. Like you mentioned, the shopping, the restaurants, and the spas. I think that would appeal greatly more to me and my skiing standard. But it's great to know, isn't it, that it's not just that.
No, but there's certainly no golf in the winter, JP.
yeah, that's the only drawback, isn't it? Yeah, that's the only drawback, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah,
no, I think for us as in our clients, it's great that we have access to such amazing homes through you and working in partnership with you, and that insight that you have for the area is, you know, second to none. Really, it's so important to have.
I think the compelling thing is, George, is you know, like you said, the exclusivity and getting some of these bookings over the line. I mean, those are the intricacy parts of the details that you have to service your clients, and you know, I think that's often overlooked, but it is probably one of the most difficult things to achieve, to make sure that the client can, you know, arrive by helicopter and have a seamless experience from day 1 to day 4. You know, being able to offer that, you know, is a massive advantage.
It is, yes. And I mean, it's near essential in what we do. And I mean, you know, again, I think I touched on it the last time I was on the podcast, but you know, as you can see, we are actually here. We have a presence here. We know our product intimately. We know the chalets we're putting clients in, and we match them with the right properties to suit their needs and their requirements. And, you know, we have personal relationships with the people working here, with the people in the restaurants, with the people in the hotels, so that we're able to facilitate those hard to achieve requests. And, you know, I certainly don't want to talk anybody down, but, you know, there are a lot of companies online who rent property around the world who have never set foot in the resort, let alone the property. And, you know, I think it's very important to know what you're getting yourself into, because as we touched on before, you know, photos only tell half the story, and it's actually what you feel, what you experience when you step into one of these luxury properties. Because, you know, let's be honest, they're not inconsequentially priced, and you know, when you're paying proper money, you expect, you know, proper product and proper service.
Oh, great point to finish on, that is.
I think, well, that wraps it up very nicely. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I think that's probably the best backdrop I've seen on this podcast in for however long we've been doing it. But no, thank you, George. We'll definitely put your website and all your contact details below in the description, so if people have any questions or any queries, they can get in touch with you directly. I really enjoyed that. I hope everyone else did. Any questions, just drop us a message. Thanks.